Today we're building Asteroids in Scratch, proper 1979 arcade. Ship has continuous velocity, thrust adds to it in the direction you face, momentum carries forever. Asteroids split recursively, large into two mediums, then into four smalls. UFOs appear, the small one fires aimed shots. Hyperspace can save you or kill you. Let's take a look at the stage. Everything happens against the stage. A flat black square of deep space, no walls, no floor. It doesn't run any code of its own. What it holds is all the shared numbers the game runs on: your lives, your score, the high score, the wave you're on, whether a round is actually running, and the little messages the sprites use to talk to each other, like new game, spawn wave, and game over. Think of it as the shared notice board every other sprite reads from and writes to. If you have any questions or comments about today's or ideas for future builds, please comment below. Now your ship sprite. This is you, the little triangle you fly, and where most of the game's code lives. When the green flag goes, the ship doesn't start playing straight away. It just tucks itself away, hidden behind the title screen, and waits. The real start happens the moment you press space for a new game. On that fresh start, it drops itself dead center, pointing straight up, completely still, and it gives itself 2 seconds where nothing can kill it. That little window matters. If a rock happens to be sitting right on the middle when you spawn, those 2 seconds stop it wiping you out before you've even moved. Now the main loop, the ship's brain, running once every frame. Left and right swing the nose round by 5 degrees a step. The up arrow is thrust. And this is the clever bit. Instead of just shoving the ship forward, it works out how much of that push goes sideways and how much goes up and down, based purely on the way the nose is pointing, and it adds that push onto the speed the ship's already carrying. That's the sine and cosine trick, and it's worth remembering. It's how you send anything in the direction it's facing in any game you ever build. And because the push is added to your existing speed and never replaces it, momentum sticks. Let go of thrust and you don't stop. You keep gliding, drifting the way you were already going. There's the tiniest bit of drag pulling you back, just a whisper, and it's the only mercy in the whole game. The real 1979 machine gave you none. The line that actually moves the ship is separate again. Every frame, the ship shifts across by whatever its stored speed is. That one line is what turns two saved numbers into real movement. Take the thrust away and the ship would still coast across the screen forever on the last push you gave it. When the ship gets hit, there's a guard in place so that even if two things clobber you in the same instant, it only ever costs you one life. It plays the shatter explosion, takes a life off, and then, this is the important part, before it puts you back, it waits until the middle of the screen is actually clear of rocks. No reappearing straight into an asteroid. And if that was your last life, it sends out the game over message. Otherwise, it clears the ship off the game over screen and bows out. The bullet's your shots. The original bullet never flies, it stays hidden, and every shot you fire is a copy of it. One tap of space, one copy. Each copy has a short, complete little life. It launches from the ship's nose, travelling fast along exactly the way the ship was pointing, that same facing trick again, and it counts itself onto the screen, so the game knows how many of your shots are live. Here's the design choice that shapes the whole game. Each shot lives for just 1 second. That's deliberate, straight from 1979. The short life caps how far your bullets reach, so you can't just spray and let them wrap round the screen forever. It forces you to actually aim. The shot dies the moment its second is up, or the instant it hits something, and that frees the slot for the next one. The spawn guard, a quiet helper you never see. It sits in the exact center of the screen, fully see-through, but still solid enough to sense a touch. Every frame it does one job. It checks whether any rock is overlapping the middle and sets a center clear flag on or off. That's the flag the ship reads before it dares reappear. This little invisible sensor is what makes wait until it's safe possible. Now, those asteroids, the rocks, your enemy and your whole reason to shoot. When a wave is called, it works out how many to make. 4 on the first wave, 1 more each wave after, capped at 11. The 11 is the ceiling the original arcade used too. It sets the rock's remaining count first as one clean number, so the part of the game watching for an empty board never catches it mid-count and thinks the wave's already done. Then it stamps that many big rocks around the edges, each drifting off at its own random speed and angle, and never so slow that it just sits there. Every rock is a copy living its own life. It sizes itself, big, medium, or small, picks one of 3 rough rock shapes for a bit of variety, and gets a tiny fraction of a second shield the moment it's born. That shield's clever. When you shoot a big rock and it breaks into 2, that same shot can't instantly shatter the fresh pieces as well. They get a heartbeat to scatter first. After that, forever. Drift, spin slowly, wrap around the screen edges, and watch for one of your bullets. Get hit, and a big one breaks into mediums, a medium into smalls, and a small is gone for good, each split scoring you more than the last. When the game ends, every rock simply vanishes. The first of 2 UFOs, the large one, the big flying saucer. It waits out a random stretch of quiet, then slides across the screen, firing shots off in random directions, warbling that low hum the whole way over. It's not aiming at you, it's just spraying. So it's more menace than sniper. It dies through a shared flag, your bullet flips when it connects, and it clears off when the game's over. And now the smaller UFO, the little saucer, and this one's nasty. Same idea. Waits, then slides across humming. But its shots are aimed. Every time it fires, it turns to point straight at you and sends the shot down that line, so you can't just sit still and dodge on rhythm. It only starts turning up from wave 4 onward, once you've settled in. The game's way of raising the stakes just as you're getting comfortable. Same as its big brother, a hit from your bullet flips a shared flag, and it's gone. The UFO's bullets, the saucers return fire. Like your shots, these start hidden and only copies ever fly. Both saucers share this one design. Whichever one shoots leaves behind where it fired from and which way it's headed, and the copy just reads those and sets off. It's kept deliberately simple. The shot only has to travel, wrap the screen, and time out after just over a second. The ship itself does the job of noticing when it's been hit. On game over, they're all cleared away. The controller, the invisible referee running the whole match. At the flag, it sits on the title screen and waits for space. Space is what starts the game, and there's a guard, so it only ever kicks off once. Tap space again while you're playing, and all it does is fire a bullet, not restart the round. Starting a run resets everything. Live, score, wave, all the counters. And then it builds the first wave in a very particular order. It makes the rocks exist first, and only then flips the game running switch on. That order is doing real work. If it flipped the switch first, the wave watcher would glance at an empty board, decide the wave was already cleared, and jump you straight to wave 2 before a single rock had appeared. That wave watcher is the next job. Once the board's empty, it pays out a 500-point clear bonus, bumps the wave number up, resets the tempo, takes a breath, then spawns the next bigger wave. The rocks keep their own count exact, so all this really has to ask is, has the count hit 0? If so, go again. Then the heartbeat. 2 thumps, low then high, with a weight between them. And that weight shrinks every time you destroy a rock, then resets fresh each wave. That quickening beat is pure arcade psychology. It's not a real countdown. Nothing bad happens when it's fast. But the faster it thumps, the more you panic. In these old games, tempo is the difficulty. And finally, it keeps an eye on the high score. If your score ever beats the best so far, the best simply follows it up. It's only for this session, though. Reload the page and it's gone, because nothing's being saved to the cloud here. The scoreboard, score, high score, and wave. The numbers along the top are built the fun, old-fashioned way. Score, high, and wave are just fixed picture labels that sit still. The actual digits are each their own little sprite, one per column, and every single frame, each digit works out which number it should be showing for its own place. The ones, the tens, the hundreds, and flips to that picture. Because it's worked out fresh every frame, the display can never drift out of step with the real score, and the leading zeros are kept on purpose. That fixed row of padded digits is exactly what makes it read as a proper arcade machine. Spare lives, your spare ships, shown top left. It draws one little ship marker for each life you've got in reserve. That's your lives minus the one you're currently flying. 4 markers get made, each pointing up like a ship in flight, and each one only lights up while its slot still fits inside your spare count. Lose a life, and the far one quietly goes dark. The title screen. On the green flag, it covers the whole stage. Handy because it hides all the setup going on behind it while the rocks and saucers get themselves into place. And it blinks press space to start, on and off until you press space, then slides out of the way. Tap the green flag again, and it comes right back for the next go. And finally, game over stays, hidden the whole time you're playing. When the last life goes, it takes over. It freezes the round, reveals the game over screen, and plays the tune all the way through. Everything else is already hiding on that same message, and there's a tiny deliberate pause built in, just long enough to let all those things tidy themselves away before the game halts every script at once. Next week, the final build of our retro game series Tetris. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and remember, switch that notification bell on.